We haven't talked on camera since you made the Forbes magazine, so I just want to say congrats. That shit is
thank you.
That shit is pretty gnarly to like be like, damn, my boy's like my friend is on the cover of Forbes. Like,
the cool thing about that is like there's people that are way richer than me, and there's people that have built way bigger businesses, but to touch that cover is like every businessman entrepreneur's dream.
Yeah.
So I have guys like worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. They hit me like, dog, you did it. And I'm like, bro, you did it, motherfucker.
No, you did it for real. Yeah,
you got it right now, liquid. But I just think it's a really cool thing to come out of cancer and then touch that cover and then get the Ad Age Award and get a couple other things that we got. Like it's just really cool, and it's just good morale for like the kind of industry I'm in.
I was going to say, how does that change your life, being on that cover? Because I'm sure it makes people look at you a lot different.
Well, two ways. Yeah, no. I mean, one, people put more respect on the business conversations, but two, everyone thinks you just got it. Like, they just seen that word, like $400 million. They're like, oh, motherfucker, you could tell me, let me get $500,000. Let me borrow like $300,000.
Hold on to $100K, bro. Like,
man, invest this $2 million behind my company. I know you guys, like, bro, like, yo, like this valuation that they're putting on me as a person, kind of like relies on the businesses performing, executing, and like, exiting one day, right? That's what the value of my business is, and it kind of put a lot of things in perspective. You see, even the rich rapper list, that shit was trippy to me.
That shit is crazy. Because were you 4th or 5th?
I was number 4.
Crazy.
And then you put yourself next to rappers like
fucking Dr. Dre and Jay-Z.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, Kanye, Diddy, and like people are like, well, man, Burn's not really a rapper. I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold up. I do got 49 albums out. I've been rapping since 2006. People are saying, well, he got other businesses. Whoa, so does everyone else.
Everybody else got, at a time, Ciroc and Rock Nation, and I mean, yeah,
all kind of things. Different. Ace of Spades, whatever you call it.
It's the same thing.
It's the same exact thing, except the difference is I'm Mexican and I'm fucking low key underdog, and so it's cool as fuck to see that they recognize me on that list, because that list, I always dreamed about being on a list like that, and I always said that people were overlooking what I built. And I just remember one day kind of just throwing a fit on Twitter like, man, I wish they would look at my shit. And someone actually was like, well, I'd beat down the audit. And that's a really deep audit. They have to look at everything that you have, your assets, your businesses. It's like they can't just put that shit out
to
there
make the cash. Is it the Cash Kings list? Is that what they call it?
No, just hip hop's wealthiest, right, whatever it may be, top 5 wealthiest, so they did that, and yeah, that shit hit.
So they they turn over all the pages and look into your shit for real.
Yeah, they do like a real audit of you, for sure.
Oh wow. Yeah, so it ain't no fugazi ass number going out there.
No, hell no. No, that's a real number. It's a real situation. It's just all around real. Like they're not gonna play you on that. Like, right, they're not gonna play themselves. It's real publications with real credible writers, and just they're not playing no games with that list. That list is very strategic. They do a good job of due diligence. I had to have them talk to like business managers and the people that do my taxes, and yeah, that shit's real.
Damn, they're like talking to the CPA and all that shit, huh?
CPAs are looking at like properties. They're looking at the actual like, you say your business worth this. Like let's do actual audit of your business. Let's do let's get a proper. What did you raise at last time you raised? Like. It's real as fuck.
It's crazy because you've obviously, we've kind of seen Cookies grow from like, I remember the first time I smoked Cookies was with 2 Chainz in probably 2010.
Shout out to Titty
or
Boy.
11.
Yeah.
That was around the time Yoko was getting played on the radio out there when I was on that was around that time, and I remember you coming out to Vegas kicking with Franny and shit, and I kind of had like really got hip to you, but it's just wild to see like was there ever a point in time, let's say in 2010, 11, where you ever could imagine that you'd be turning down some of the exits I'm sure you've already been offered, and you'd be on the cover of a publication like Forbes? Did you ever see it?
Nah, but I always knew too, like at the end of the day, it's all about how much work you put into your craft, right? Like if you stay dedicated to your craft, man, like even last night, dude, I got home last night and I just passed the fuck out hard. 9 p.m. out, like dead body. My girls woke up this morning. You remember how you fell asleep? I'm like, nah. She's like, man, you were fucking out. And just because I just work all day long, So I never pictured being in this position because I was always an underdog. I felt like I always had to prove myself to somebody. I always had to work harder than others. But I also knew that like one of my first true believers in what I do, like one of my first actual like investors and partners, and you know, he told me, he's like, bro, like I don't really quite know where you're trying to go with the rap, but I do know one thing. He's like, bro, you don't stop, and people that don't stop and don't quit are the ones that hit. So I'm gonna stick with you. You should just stick with the pack. You're good at selling pack. Mm-hmm. I want bags from you, and I think that you'd be better off just focused on selling bud. But like, man, you just won't stop with this rap shit, and so I have to stay behind you. I'm gonna keep pushing you because that's what motherfuckers like you aren't gonna lose, and that stuck with me. I'm like, you're right. Even the current state of cannabis right now, like the weed game is fucked up. There's a lot of people falling out, a lot of people suing each other, a lot of people hating each other, a lot of businesses going under, a lot of grows failing, a lot of stores failing. You know, but we're still relevant as hell, and we're still going because we still put that passion into it. Like, we still care about this shit.
Do you think it's also because you guys have a dope business model, I think, too, which is not necessarily dependent on any, because I'm sure if people don't understand, like, you guys will you guys have partners all over the country, right? It's not like if you see a cookie store in Detroit, it's the same as the cookie store in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Well, and I'm sure some places it is the same partnership, right? But for you guys, like, you guys have kind of like put together such an incredible business model on the storefront side, at least, where, you know, it's a quality control situation where you obviously have to vet whoever you partner with, but at the same time, it kind of puts you guys in a position where, you know, people are buying into the name and the brand because the brand is so prestigious.
Yeah, it's like it's an asset light business model. We're not raising hundreds of millions of dollars, which allows me to stay in control. A lot of other people that raise hundreds of millions of dollars,
they lose skin.
Yeah, they lose all their equity. I maintained a lot of my equity, bro, a lot. But what it does is, like, it does three things. We're able to stay asset light. We're able to expand faster than anyone else. We're also able to cherry pick the best operators in each market as they open up. So, you know, Albuquerque, New Mexico, we opened up 11/3, right? November 3rd. That's probably one of our best menus in the whole country. The weed looks almost better than some of the weed in California. The menu is extensive, 30 genetics on the menu, store fully built out. Like, we got to cherry pick those partners that were dedicated to us. Nirvana in Arizona.
I was going to say, it took you a very long time to get to Arizona, and that was a passionate, you know,
well, we fucked
mission.
up the first time. We did a deal with the only players in the game, and they pretty much just shelved us.
They fucked the weed up, right?
They fucked the weed up, but they also shelved our growth. But now we found some independent guys, you know, the team at Nirvana, that understand what this brand means. They put the quality, and we turned down enough batches until it was time to go. We're like, bro, it's not hitting. It's not, boom, you got it.
Yeah.
And they dialed it in, and they dialed it in even more from the opening. And so it allows us to partner with the right people all around the country. And a lot of people say it's like a franchise. It's not like a franchise because anyone can open up McDonald's.
Yeah, you guys are being selective on who you're going to let.
We're being selective on who we're going to fuck with. We're being selective on which markets are mature enough to open up. And we're also just really understanding that, like, there's nothing easy about managing hundreds of partners.
Right.
It'd be easier to raise the money and to build out your shit yourself in theory, because then you're the one controlling all that. There's a lot of egos. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of personal, you know, interaction you have to do when you have that many partners. But I like that shit.
Yeah, and it also kind of removes the, like, bureaucracy that you would have to deal with in each city and market, because at the end of the day, like you said, man, the weed game is, unfortunately, it's full of a lot of cool people, but it's also full, like, on the corporate side, bro. Like,
it's trash, bro. Like, I miss the medical days so much. You know, when it was medical, it was a big risk still, and people were having to put their neck on the line, and it just was a lot more pure. As soon as it went legal, a bunch of people that had no business being in this business got in this business, and they started getting in, you know, partnerships with legacy guys and kind of changing the way that they think and what's really the real goal. I mean, if you look at the two things I'm truly passionate about, food and weed, it's two things that really bring people together. No matter where you're from, no matter where you're at in the world, you can connect over food or weed, right? So, like, I'm in it for a bigger purpose. I know the brand has value. I know there's going to be some money associated with this position later on in life, but for right now, it's a struggle to maintain, to stay relevant, to deal with all these different partners, make sure everyone's happy, everyone feels like they're getting the attention they need. but I wouldn't change our business model or the situation we have over anything. It's cool to connect with people all over the world, and you said it, not just in the country but all over the world.
You guys got Thailand.
We got Thailand. We're about to open up London. Medical side of London. We're in Spain. We're in Amsterdam. We're in Israel. We're selling weed in Germany right now. Like, it's cool to connect with people all over the world over something you created from the ground up in your house.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool as fuck.
That shit's wild, man.
Yeah.